We talking about it. Maybe you will see me in the WWE at some point.
Go ahead.
Brian Shepard for Defcon Media. My question is for Terence Crawford. But when you were here in New York leading into the Errol Spence fight, you said, I can assure you, you're going to walk away and say, Terence Crawford is special. You're going to mark me down as one of the greatest of all time. When you visualize this fight and when people walk away, what do you want them to say?
Well, I want all the people in the stands that booed me, they gonna cry when they go home.
I just found out what the sign language means for cry. Dana, I'm from the UFC world. You're bringing me over to the boxing world. I appreciate everything you've done for combat sports. What does it mean? How does it feel to you to be one of the masterminds in what could be the most viewed fight in combat sports history?
I've always had this theory that if you put on two fights, if you can get people to stay home on a Saturday night, you put on two great fights the same night. We have UFC Noche that night, and I know there's a lot of questions about this. The main events will not, the main cards will not cross over. You'll be able to watch one right into the other. So to be a part of a historic night on Mexican Independence Day, I love it. I feel very blessed to be here. Thanks, Sheikh Turkey and both fighters up here. It's going to be a great night, historic night of fighting.
Thank you, Turkey, and thank you, guys. One question. What can people expect on Saturday, September the 13th? You're looking beef, you're looking brolic. What can they expect come September?
Listen, I'm all about making history. I was the first two-time undisputed champion of the world, and I can assure you I'm the first three-time undisputed champion of the world.
Go ahead.
Dan Canobio with Inside Boxing Live. These questions for both fighters. We've seen some photos come out, you guys eating together, kind of joking around. The interview with Piers Morgan was very friendly. Can you explain to fans out there that it is a gentleman's sport? Is there animosity, and what can you make of some criticism like, oh, these guys look like they're friends?
But listen, let me tell you like this. I respect Canelo, just like I respect every one of my other opponents before Canelo. But once it gets close to that time, you know what I mean, it's time to go to work, you know? And when we go to work, I know what comes after that.
You hear that? You know, we are professionals, and when we step in the ring, it's gonna be different.
Go ahead, sir.
Canelo en español para toda la gente que está aquí que habla español. Platícanos qué se siente y cuál va a ser lo más difícil de enfrentar a Crawford and later for Crawford. What do you feel that you need to go up 2 divisions for this fight?
Hold on before you answer. Go ahead, translate.
For all these people here from the Spanish crowd, how difficult is this for the preparation, and what do you expect?
No, obviamente Crawford es un gran peleador, por eso está aquí ahora como mi oponente, pero lo que sabemos hacer, entrenar al 100%, enfocarnos en Crawford y ganar, y que sea un gran triunfo para México.
Obviously, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. That's the reason why he's fighting me. That's the reason why we're facing each other. But that's what we do. What we got to do. What we always do is 100 go to 100%. Always training, and it's going to be a great triumph for Max Kellerman.
Go ahead. Who's next? Nobody else? Is that it? Lene. Good? All right. I want to bring up the first member of our broadcast team. He is the best boxing analyst in the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, Max Kellerman.
Excited about this fight. but I don't think you understand what a big deal it is. This is a perfect storm, First of all, Turki Al-Sheikh. We're lucky he happens to be a boxing fan. None of this happens if he doesn't happen to be a boxing fan. It's just, none of us are here. Nick Khan, the best in the business. Dana White is the greatest combat sports promoter of my lifetime. And it's his first ever boxing promotion. So that's who's behind what you're gonna see. Do you know who's the best pound for pound fighter in the world? The most recent Bud Crawford. Apologies to the monster and Usyk. Bud Crawford has my vote for best pound for pound. Who was the best pound for pound before Bud? Canelo Alvarez, universally recognized that way. But it's not just these two guys, the last two best pound for pound fighters in the world. There haven't been that many. Before Canelo, who do you have? Before Canelo, Floyd or Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. Before, you can take the lineage back. There have only been, I don't know, 25 or 30 fighters who ever lived who you said that's the best pound for pound fighter in the world. These are two of them, the last two. And they're gonna fight in Las Vegas on September 13th. Canelo is 62-2 with 2 draws, 62-2. So was Marvin Hagler when Sugar Ray Leonard moved up to fight him, and they produced one of the biggest spectacles in the history of boxing. This fight is a perfect storm. I could not be more excited to be a part of it. Now, guys, I'm going to ask you guys some questions, if you don't mind. Bud, I'm going to start with you. Why are you jumping up and skipping a division? You just got to junior middleweight. You were given the best fight of your career at junior middleweight by Madrimal. Who gave you a tougher fight than Madrimal? Stop that. And now you're... Who? Someone gave you a tougher fight than Madrimal?
Listen, if y'all thought that was a tough fight, then whew.
Well, you've been beating the hell out of most guys you've ever fought. He gave you a good fight. Now you're skipping middleweight. No rehydration clause, nothing like that, to move up to fight a guy who has dominated that weight class for a decade, or weight classes for a decade. Why do it this way?
Why not?
Why not?
I always say, why not? You know, all the greats do things that people think that's impossible. You know, so within myself, I have the confidence, the skills. I got all the tools to beat Canelo. So why not?
Canelo, you are right now El Gran Campeón Mexico, right? Like, you are the guy. And Mexico has produced some of the greatest champions in boxing history, including Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez, and on and on. If you beat Terence Crawford in this fight, or is it on the line the greatest champion in the history of Mexico? Is that on the line in this fight?
You know what? I don't know. Let's see when I retire where I'm gonna be in the list. But for sure, I will beat Terence Crawford, no matter what. I don't look in like I'm gonna be the greatest Mexican ever. I don't say that. I think my numbers is gonna talk when I retire.
For